Okay, let's do it. We'll talk a little bit about Discord first again. All right, we're back. But before we kick off tonight's show, I wanted to talk one more time briefly about the Parachute training app on the Discord platform, where you can find all of this stuff in one place. Some great resources, including how to connect with me. Messenger is obviously my preferred method, but I want to use this app to show you how to get your assets graded by me personally, be awarded these badges so that you can move through this in a way that makes sense, and it's also a fun thing to do. We also have this studio here. The studio is a great way for me and you to connect right here and talk, but I can record everything coming out of your mouth. It's a great way to help guide you to some really, really great ads and content you can make for yourself. We also have the badges channel, the announcements channel, and this sweet brag success channel where Peter's already found success on the first one. I'm imploring everyone to post both the video you used for the client, the one you used to gain the business, and the story about what happened and how it worked out for you. And you may even win a hat. There's a free hat in it for Peter. Congratulations for being the first person to find success and post it here in this channel. But the biggest thing I wanted to talk to you about is how to use the Parachute Mastermind group. You'll see right here we have the week 1 challenge that should be visible to everybody. And in this is both the basic script for the customer response video, right? Real simple. And then also all of last week's week 1 show that talks about everything that you need to know how to pass this challenge so you can get on to week 2. Then you're going to use the Messenger app to send me the video, and I'll approve it just like I did Cole's here. He was the first one to get a template back to me, so congratulations to him. And the system will actually award you your blue belt, and that will open up the week 2 so that you can get in and see those challenges. So these are the week 2 challenges that we're going to be going over tonight. And as soon as the show's over, you're going to see the actual show posted right here in this channel so that you can keep track. As soon as we get that challenge back, then the week 3 gate will open and you can continue on. All right, let's get into the show.
Your only responsibility is to put meat on the table.
When do we get our reward? The reward? Oh, I get the reward. Get over there and wait on those customers.
No.
Get the camera ready.
Anyway, the point is I had to adapt to this new world.
Stay with me.
Ready with the camera.
I'm gonna come back to you in 1 month with one idea and one idea only. You know, if you like what we had to say, great.
Here's the deal. I'm not here to waste your time, okay? I certainly hope you're not here to waste mine. So I'm gonna keep this short.
Play a little something different.
Now, y'all look money hungry? Let me tell you what's required.
I can close anyone, anytime, anywhere in the country. Just give me a phone.
Start working for yourself. The sky's the limit.
This entire business revolves around the phone.
Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Play the numbers. This is a context.
Stay with me.
I'm trying to tell you what's expected of you and what your job is. I'm trying to make your job easier.
Track him down and engage him.
Be rude. Be rude. Hang up the phone. Because I had to adapt to this new world. You won't. You want to know why? Because you see value.
Let a man do it that knows how. You gotta use your brain.
We are looking at a grand slam home run.
We're taking on cold hard cash via commission.
Because I had to adapt.
So you listen to me and you listen well. Are you behind on your credit card bills? Good. Pick up the phone and start
Chimp
dialing.
wasn't on the charm. No dame can resist him.
This is not a tip. This is a prescription.
All you have to do today is pick up that phone and speak the words that I have taught you.
Whew. You guys pumped? I saw some of you dancing around while the thing was on. I'm fired up that you're that fired up. No, all right, look, so we're back, and only in just a little bit of time. I don't know if you guys caught it on there, but Peter nabbed with his first attempt. He hasn't even gotten me the one he needed yet. Nabbed one for a customer, and the customer came in and bought. So if you guys caught that, he shared that in the Discord channel. If you share both the video you used and the result and the story in that success channel, you guys get a free hat. It's a dope hat, too, so something to think about. So one of the things that he talked about in that little review that he wrote in the channel was the customer had sort of one perception of what was going on, and the video kind of allowed him to reframe what the situation was actually about. So I'm going to kick off all of these shows with sort of a themed thing here that's part of what we did in the intro, and this one is the Boiler Room movie. And what I want to show you guys is that there's certain factors that you can use whenever you're talking to somebody. And if you don't know exactly what to say, you should be kind of slowly baking one of these things in. And it's basically indifference of attitude, sense of urgency, fear of loss, and greed factor, which we're going to talk a little bit more about as we get into this. But these situations or these mechanisms allow you to sort of reframe what the situation is that you're selling somebody and not necessarily exactly what the product is. So I put together a little thing. It's a little goofy, But guys, I want you to watch this scene, which is a scene we've all seen before from Boiler Room, and if not, you should. And then we'll talk a little bit about it, and then watch it again. All right, check it out.
Rocco!
All right.
Okay, so his name's Dr. Jacobs, and I'd say from the sound of it, he's definitely...
Well, I don't want to hear it, kid.
Okay.
Hi, Dr. Jacobs. This is Chris Marlin over at JT Marlin.
Marlin?
Right, he's my father.
He's my mother.
So my associate tells me you're interested in one of our stocks.
Your wife's on break.
I will call her back. Yes, MSC sounds like it might be interesting.
Might be. Might be doesn't sell stock at the rate MSC is going for, Dr. Jacobs. We're talking very high volume here.
Oh, well, I still have to run it by my people.
That's great, Doc, if you want to miss yet another opportunity here and watch your colleagues get rich doing clinical trials, and don't buy a share and hang up the phone.
Well, hold on a second now. I didn't say that. I just want to talk about it some more.
Honestly, Doc, I don't have the time. This stock is blowing up right now. The whole firm's going nuts. Hold on, let me open up the door to my office. See that, Doc? That's my trading floor. Now I have 1 million calls to make to 1 million other doctors who are already in the know. I can't walk you through this right now. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's do this.
Now, since you're a new account, I cannot go any higher than 2,000 shares. I'm sorry.
2,000? Are you nuts? That is way beyond what I was thinking. 2,000? Jesus. Listen, I'm curious. Why can't you sell me any more than that?
Well, we like to establish a relationship with our clients on something small before we get to the more serious trades. Let me show you several percentage points on this small trade, and then we'll talk about doing it your business.
That sounds good. Give me the 2,000 shares.
Done.
You sure you can't do any better on this one?
I'm sorry, Dr. Jacobs. I can't. I'm sorry.
All right, we'll start with this trade then.
Great. I promise we'll swing for the fences on the next one. Do you want that confirmation sent to your office or your mansion?
Very funny, Mr. Marlin.
Let me put my secretary on, and she'll take down your info. It was a pleasure doing business with you. Done and done.
Okay, so the reason that I use that scene in the intro is because it's one of the best examples of literally every single thing he says in there is contrived to create one of these four things. One of the reasons this is so relevant here in this group is the number one mistake people have when they contact a customer and they're not right in front of that customer is that they sell the product. And I'm not saying that you can't ignore the product, and that's why that was baked in to our previous script that, hey, here it is. But you have to understand that you have to reframe the product and reframe the buying situation as a whole and believe that that is possible with just simple word choice. So one of the ways that these things you'll notice when you start to pay attention to these, all good sales has these baked into it. And one of the things you're going to notice is that sense of urgency is one of the easiest to create, right? I think we all know some phrases that create sense of urgency. What people don't realize is you can stack these. Now, if you've done sense of urgency well, when it comes time to do fear of loss isn't such a leap. It's very hard to get somebody to have significant fear of loss if you haven't established reasonable sense of urgency. If you've established sense of urgency and fear of loss, greed factor is the one that's the most complicated, that needs the most talking about. When it comes to greed factor, what greed factor means is if you're a good salesperson, you're spending at least half your day describing what somebody should expect about the process, how long it should take, what other people do. What most people do is a phrase you should use 5 or 6 times per car deal. What most people do, how much most people put down, how much, what most people do is pull right up there. You should be telling them this is what the herd is doing. This is what you should expect. And you have more leverage than with any other tool with a customer when you're telling them this is what the situation is. So in the boiler room plot, often you'll see the greed factor pop up, and it's essentially at a lie. And obviously that movie ends with all those people in handcuffs. So it's a morality issue. When we talk about these scripts, you're going to see that we talk about being able to deliver on anything that you promise on. But it's a big part of being able to tell that story and reframe what is this buying situation, and your word choice and the way you present it is everything. So think about that when you're making a video, how some of these work. Okay, so quick, I'm trying to move through this quick. The most important one is indifference of attitude. But the thing is, I can fake fear of loss. I can fake sense of urgency. It's pretty easy to tell you a story about greed factor. Most people come inside. It takes less than 10 minutes. That's all easy stuff. It's very difficult to fake indifference of attitude. It's very difficult to pretend like whether or not you buy is sort of inconsequential to me, when at the end of the day, I have to be polite and cater to your needs. The only way for me to get to indifference of attitude is through logically working my way through these other factors as they go through. So I'm going to watch this again, and let's just talk about how this develops.
Hi, Dr. Jacobs. This is Chris Marlowe.
So like I said, first things first, the ethical part. He's not his son. But what does that do is it makes it seem like the situation may be different than it is.
I will call her back. Yes, MSC sounds like it might be interesting.
Might be. Might be doesn't sell stock at the rate MSC is going for, Dr. Jacobs. We're talking very high volume here.
Oh, well, I still have to run it by my people.
That's great, Doc, if you want to miss yet another opportunity here and watch your colleagues get rich doing clinical trials, and don't buy a share and hang up the phone.
So you'll notice some of these are stacked, and they come out 2, 3 at a time.
I don't have the time. This stock is blowing up right now. The whole firm's going nuts. Hold on, let me open up the door to my office.
A big use of greed factor is explaining to them that everyone else wants it. People act irrationally. You guys might know this as the Jones effect.
We're already in the know. I can't walk you through this right now. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's do this.
Always wait through the silence. Okay, so you guys get my drift here. When you're writing a sales script and you're thinking of what to say to somebody, when you're making an ad that you haven't made on your feet before, you have to ask yourself, how can I bake these pieces into it? How can I describe the inventory in a way that my story isn't saying bluntly, these cars are going to be gone, but may paint a picture where there's not as many of them as you'd think? And most of the time, it's a simple reaction, a bit of body language. You'll notice everything he does is done essentially through gestures and innuendo and tone of voice. If you just read the script, it wouldn't work. And so that's the reason that we've invested. If you go back to show 1, you'll see all the techniques to be able to create the videos on the fly. That's why is that you want to be able to give people a certain sense of what the situation is. And like we talked about with Peter's success story, be able to frame exactly what the situation should feel like to them, how excited they should be, how excited other people are. And you can do all that with the innuendo that you build into one of those videos. So getting your videos back from last week. Again, I wanted to go over just how to turn these into me, just if anybody's not clear or if they're catching up on the show late. You guys are communicating with me on Messenger. So you guys send the videos to me. I'll coach them. We'll go back and forth. When the asset's good enough, I'll give you the thumbs up. Then it comes back and I'll actually post it for you in the Discord like you saw. Cole already got on and is in week 2 already. Most of you have already sent videos that I'm going to be coaching tonight, and you'll be joining them here shortly. But what I wanted to talk about was the right way to do it. So last week we showed a video from Cole. It was pretty close to good. Since Cole's the first one through this week, I'm going to show his video as the best practice from last week, so you guys have one clean example. If you remember last week, he kind of fumbled the folder and added some words that weren't there. So I sort of challenged him to be a little more concise as possible. And for everybody, don't make this harder on yourself. Stick to the simplest version of the script. Get through this round, and it's something that you can do on your feet and be innovative later on with customers. So let's take a peek.
Hey, good afternoon, Andrew Myers. It is Cole down here at Street Volkswagen. And really quick, just want to take a few seconds out of your day to show you the vehicle that you inquired about online. It is here and it is available. Reason being, we've got a ton of other makes and models, but just giving you proof of life on the vehicle that you inquired about, all right? So, before I walk the car as well, there's no hidden surprises before you get here, all right? One set of matching tires, a pair of keys, no dents or dings. This vehicle is extremely clean, all right? So just let me know what time to expect you today. Reason being, I'm gonna get this bad boy washed, all right? So I just need to know what time to see you, okay? So stepping on in, I always check the mileage, especially on new cars. Reason being, sometimes they have a couple hundred miles. They come in like that, or test drives, right? So as of right now, this bad boy only has 2, so it is brand new. Doesn't get any newer than that, okay? Now this is your folder, okay? So if you have any questions or concerns, you want to compare trims, compare models, any kind of service questions, anything at all, let me know. That way I can get all your questions answered, okay? So I will be leaving at 6 o'clock today. If I don't hear back from you by then, I will reach out to you just to make sure that you're A-okay. And you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be hanging out at 6. If I don't hear back from you by then, you'll be hearing from Cole. Thank you.
Gotta check that smile at the end just to make sure. All right. One of my favorite things was last week, if you guys remember, I was giving Cole a hard time because he said 4 sets of matching tires, and that's actually 8 tires. So this time he said 1 set of matching tires, which is only 2 tires. So just stick to all the tires match. No matching, no sets. But dude, killer video. And you guys see it's a lot of times when we add things that we are in love with to a video or we like more, we have to ask ourselves if it's not creating sense of urgency, fear of loss, greed factor, or indifference of attitude, just leave it alone and be concise and stick to that. Here's what you want. Here's what I do to give you that. So come get it from me that we talked about in the first episode. If you don't know how to infuse it with those other elements, as part of it. Okay. So one of the things I want to talk about, and we talked about these last week, but from watching all the videos last week, I just want to go into it one more time. The first mistake that I see everybody making too much or making most commonly is just moving too much. When the camera comes on, the feet start. And at the end of the day, it starts for a wavery first part of the video. You'll notice the best thing that Cole did in that video, and some of you others have as well, is start instantly, try to frame this the same way. There you go. So that the car's over here, right? And, there you go. And what makes that good is that you stay stationary. The car's right here. They have a chance to actually look at the car, and it seems more like you might never even get back to it. This way they can focus on what you're saying, which is that first beat. Hey, I had a lot of options to consider, but I wanted to go to the one you wanted to talk about first. So here we are. I've already checked it out. That gets quickly through in the first 15 seconds, the things that were most concerning to them. But you want to get to the thing that matters to you within that first 20 seconds of their attention. That's why you mentioned the car wash and start to pivot. So first thing first, moving for no reason, always bad. If you want to pan to show something, whatever, you got a reason, livable, as long as the camera work is okay. But if you're moving for no reason, you shouldn't be doing that. It's only going to hurt what you have going on. And then the second thing is just the lack of the emphasis on the folder. There's 1 or 2 ways to make this mistake. The first is the folder comes out and it goes back away. The second is the folder comes out and it's referenced wrong. And I guess there's a third. The third would be the folder comes out, but it's used to talk about the car, like show a Carfax or show information about the car. If somebody wants to know more about the car, the video is your sort of solicitation for them to ask you more, and you can get into that, right? So the 2 things on the folder has to come out and stay out. Some of you guys, I know I said write the folder big. Focus less on the folder being big and more on the folder being neat. Then write it as big as you can, but it has to be neat from the start, right? So if it's too sprawling or too ridiculous, people are not going to take it seriously. It's almost better to write like Myers in the bottom and Andrew, smaller font above it. It looks neat. They can see what's going on with that. First thing, present the folder well. Second thing, explain the folder well. If you bring a silly folder into a group chat like this with somebody, they're not going to understand why the folder is there unless you tell them and paint that visual for them. In this folder is where I write down. It's like, I'm so forgetful, but I carry this because literally anything. If you want a Snickers bar that's been microwaved for 27 seconds, this is where I would write something like that down because it makes it believable that you're going to execute on it and make it happen. Make sure if you pull that folder out, it's for a reason. And I noticed that a lot of the people who went and did these for real customers and sent me that video, and great job having the initiative to do it. And you all got a great effect. It's still better than what they're getting from anybody else. But the moment you got off script and it wasn't for the gimmick of sending it to me, there are no folders involved. You have to understand and believe that the folder is still the most important thing you could say to somebody, even somebody who's there to buy a car from you and has given you a stock number and everything else. The folder is what convinces them that there's something other than a car, which is a very custom tailored experience. That's exactly what they're going to want it to be, right? Is that everybody feeling that one? All right. So now that we went through that, let me go ahead and give you a little cheat code here, but don't. All right. I wanted to show you guys for sure how to do this the right way, because your face and your personality is really what's for sale. But let's be honest, not every time you're going to do that. Maybe sometimes the weather won't allow you to do that. So let me give you a little hack. I'm downloading the image right now, which is the main promotion for a good friend of mine, Auburn Volkswagen, the lifetime warranty. Okay, so now let me show you what I'm going to do here. I'm headed to their new, so let's say that this right now is a customer who asked about a specific vehicle, right? So I'm headed to their vehicle. Keep in mind, I'm recording, so I don't have to change anything. I'm going to pop up the picture. Bang, right? Now, this is how I'm going to start my video. Or maybe I screwed up. Maybe what I wanted to do would be to save that. So bam, you got these windows here, right? Boom. So now when I want to talk about the lifetime warranty, bang, I'm a click away, right? So now I can share my web experience with them. So now I can, like, let's say, start the video. Who's this, Marissa down here? So I can come up with something like this. Can't get rid of Marissa. Whoops. There we go. Let's get into the photo scroller. Okay, so let me start my video with something like this. Hey Marissa, it's Andrew over at Auburn Volkswagen, and I just got your information on a request for this 2020 Jetta. It's in stock. I actually just got back from the vehicle. I wanted to make sure there'd be no surprises. Obviously, this is a great vehicle that you've picked, but we do have others that are just like it. But like I said, I just wanted to make sure that this one would be here and that there'd be no surprises. Of course, with Auburn Volkswagen, you have lifetime limited powertrain warranty for life. So you always get a little more when you're shopping around. If you can find the right car with us, you'll always get a little bit more than you will with somebody else. I'm your person here that's supposed to take care of you, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure you have a great experience. So when you get here, that's when my job starts. So if you need to have multiple cars pulled up for you or have somebody go through the options for you, I can work payment numbers before you get here. Literally, it's whatever I can do to save you time and energy. So again, my name's Andrew. If there's anything I can do to help you out with this car, or if you just want me to get it pulled up and ready for you, just let me know. And if you're trying to stay safe and stay home with COVID, feel free to reach out to me. We can do a FaceTime or a Facebook Live or whatever works for you, and I can show you any of the other cars, all of our options, so you can do as much or as little as you want from home. Again, thank you for your interest. If there's anything at all that I can do to make sure you have a good time when you come in, just let me know. Bang, right? Too easy. So don't tell anyone I told you that. And don't be lazy. Only use this trick if you need it. Right? I mean, it makes you wonder why you haven't done that for the last 300 customers you had at least, right? And the whole point isn't to sell them a car. Don't get that out of your mind. It's to get them more likely to talk to you so you can get that rate up. If you get 10, 40 leads, you're likely to get 30 to go, what are you talking about at least? At least you got them going back and forth with you, right? So this content's meaningful, and it makes a difference because people can hear you. They can hear your excitement. And you notice I emotionally hit all the same beats. I just used a different medium to get there. So nice little cheat if you guys were interested in cheating. But again, you're selling yourself short to not get a smiling face in there unless there's a really good reason. Windy day, rainy day, something to do with the vehicle, maybe showing them a couple options, and if you can get good at doing that, you can show them a couple of different cars. I mean, you can kind of show them anything you want. And this is a great prospecting tool as well. If somebody mentions to you rock climbing and you get a rock climbing ad in your thing, you can just record it and go, oh my God, Derek, this ad made me think of you, man. I hope you guys have gotten out. I know we talked about when you bought your car, you wanted to go climbing. Let me know if it's happened and keep me in mind. If any of your friends said that, bang. I mean, that's certainly easier than standing around waiting on the next customer to come in on a slow day, right? You can prospect all day. So that capture tool is just another trick in the bag. It's a 9-iron in a golf bag, right? So, all right, let's talk about this week's challenge. You guys emotionally moved on from last week, I hope. Oh, yeah. So last week was supposed to be scarring. That script is ridiculously long. It was supposed to be intimidating. I wanted people so busy with the words in their mouth and in their head that they stopped being nervous about the camera that was pointed back at them. I've noticed almost all of you guys are making erroneous Facebook videos now. I don't know whether you're pointed in the right direction with that gusto yet, but it's nice to see that you're not afraid of the camera, right? It's super easy. I can only imagine how many you sent to customers. That's the point, right? So this week's video is so much easier. For one, the asset to get into week 3, I need 2 assets from everybody. And these are assets that actually feed my agency. So when you guys make these, and I'll get into this a little bit in the actual video segments here, when you guys make a video like this, it's actually being budgeted by the dealership so that you can go out and help attract a certain segment of people and add something to what they have already an interest in the car. So I know a lot about everyone on the website. I know what they're interested in. I know who they are. I know a lot. I know what they've looked at. I know what vehicles they're interested in. So we can work together to create the products that actually speak to those unique instances so that we can get that message from you right in front of them. The dealer already has me putting messages in front of them, and they're waiting around to put your messages in front of them. So for those of you that have gotten me one and I said, good job, great job, and then spin around and ask yourself, why have I not sent 5 more, right? I mean, he's paying. If there's a slot there and I can get your face in front of a customer and put your cell phone on it, why would you not want to make that happen, right? So let's think more about how ambitious we can be with some of these ads. Let's talk about the first one first here. This is the introduction script where we try to separate not who we are, it's not a personal bio, but what we can do for the customer. Okay, this is the personal introduction video. This is a super important video for clients of mine. If you're on this platform as a salesperson or a staff member of a client of ours, this is an ad that gets ran for you with no cost out of your pocket by your dealer. All you've got to do is produce an ad that makes a customer want to work with you. I will get this ad personally in front of people leaving your website so you can influence them that you are the perfect person. Forget the car, all right? That you're the perfect person that will work to give them the perfect experience. So it's a little bit about you, but it's also about believing that you will create an experience. And now you've taken, instead of it just being about the car, now it's about 3 things. And they got to compare those things to every other opportunity out there, right? So this is about how to maybe not have the right trim. Maybe the one they really wanted is only 30 minutes away, but they're going to shop with you anyway, right? And this also gives us a chance to take somebody who's just like you, your perfect customer, put you in front of them and have them call and decide to work with you rather than just drive into the lot, right? Good for the store and good for you. So this is super, super simple. I've done these and people, they write me a 30 to, in some cases, 4 or 5 minute long, hey, I was born here, I went to high school. This isn't a bio of you. This is a quick chance to pitch what you can do that's unique for a customer. So what I like to call this is the Charlotte's Web presentation. If you remember Charlotte's Web, the spider just shouted things about the pig. He's radiant, right? So it's sort of the same thing, man. Just pick 2 things that you think are true and unique that you can follow through with about yourself. Hey, man, you're good at helping someone compare options. You know all the pre-owned cars. You follow up well after the sale. Hey, you really respect somebody's time. Man, I come in every morning early and really keep track of this inventory. Hey, I have a lot of respect for your time. I get it. Listen, I'm just fun to work with, man. Everyone has a good time. Hey, I work my butt off to really know the product, right? So whatever it is, find 2 things that are true for you and just follow this template over here on your right?
Hey, it's me. I know the product really well and I keep track of the inventory so I can make sure my customers have a great time and always know what's coming in and what's on our lot at any given time.
So I just stated the benefit of those 2 things that I do.
So if you want to know exactly what cars are coming in and exactly what cars are on the lot, then don't shop around and get some random guy or girl. Shop with me, name, right? Bobby. And I'll make sure you have an awesome time and never have to worry about what cars are on the lot or never have to wonder about the trim models that we have available.
Or whatever, right? So you can run this back with any of these. Hey, I respect your time and I'm fun to work with, right? I know you got places to be and don't want to spend all day at a dealership. And when you are here, you want to have a good time, right? So if you want to have a good time and get out of here with your time being valued, then come shop with me. Don't get some random experience. I'll make sure you have an awesome time and don't waste your time, right? So just sort of use this template on the right. Pick a couple of things that are valuable that you think you can back up, that are true and honest about you as a salesperson. Put them out there. Tell people why they should care and what that will do for their experience. And then tell them what to do, what action to take, right? To do business with you and get involved. This is a super, super simple script. I can include your cell phone on this. And if you give me this script, the dealership will spend $100 to $200 a month in some cases, putting this in front of every single person leaving the website. If you're at a dealership where you're looking to your left and your right, and the people who you show up to work with haven't gotten me this video, that means there's even a bigger opportunity for you, because you're going to be the one that gets in front of those customers that are leaving the website, which is almost every customer who's coming on the lot, right? So why not get your face in front of them? Tell them what you can do for them. Smile like an idiot at the end of the video and make yourself a few extra bucks. If you need any help producing this video, if you want to run your script by me or see other videos just like it, make no mistake, I am available, both on the... Okay, so does this make sense to you guys? I know I talked to Street on Saturday, so I know a couple of you guys have already had to kind of go through this exercise. Joel, what did you land on? I forget which segment you ended up with, or which... actually, what it was is the intro video. Sorry, I'm getting myself lost here. So yeah, Joel actually brought his baby out as a prop, which I thought was super interesting. This is the point where you want to stand out across other salespeople. So if you have something funny like that, and you have something that is endearing, he has obviously a charming baby boy that's smiling, bring him, make sure to get the waiver from mom, but make use of it. There we go. Hey, there's the baby. So yeah, just you guys, like I said, you should be able to easily pick 2 off this list. If anybody's confused about how to do these, this is like improv over here. throw 2 of these at me. And then just the only thing I can add to this, if it's not obvious, is that you need to be unpacking those claims in a literal sense. I should have made this a chart. If you listen well, someone will never have to repeat themselves. If you pay attention, then someone will never miss a detail. If you go the extra mile, then no one else will work as hard, right? If you know the product well, someone will never have to have a question that you don't know. If you're fun to work with, then you'll never have a better time buying a car. But you guys see what I'm saying with this? You know what I mean? That direct correlation to your claim is the second sentence. That's one of the places that people have messed up. They get very wandering in the second sentence. Hey, I go the extra mile and I respect your time, and no one will work hard because I'm a good guy and I really respect, you're not, it's an equation. You just unpack your claim. Hey, I listen well and I pay attention, which means I don't miss a detail that you tell me. And I actually, make sure, actually, those are almost the same one, aren't they? That's probably not a good example. So another one, language. Language is a targetable instance. If you speak Russian, if you speak Spanish, this is something that we can target specifically. So every single person speaking that language gets that video. Make sure to talk to me about any unique stuff you have like that we can target. But respects your time, keeps track of the inventory, right? That combines super, super easily. So, hey, I respect your time and I keep track of our inventory so nobody can save you more time or get you more done from home. And if there's a specific vehicle you want, I'm the guy to go find it for you. So if you value your time or you want a special rig, then come see me. You see what I mean? You don't get creative. You just state these 2 things. You unpack how their virtue or value will stack up for somebody, and then you tell them what to do at the end. It's the vanilla ice slide from the last one, right? So I'm going to move on to the most important one, which is the Segment Pro. The Segment Pro actually is very unique because every single visitor to your dealership's website, we understand whether they're looking at SUVs, all-wheel drives, cars under 10,000, whether they're looking at blue cars, to give you a ridiculous example, electric cars. And then there's a million ways that you can pivot off that. Let me just give you some examples. Man, I'm the all-wheel drive guy. I drive all-wheel drives. I'm all about leaving the road. So if you don't want to be on the highway, it could be, hey, I'm the minivan guy. I've got 3 kids. I know exactly what that's like. You can relate to any of these. If it's a vehicle you touch like an Atlas, but you'd like to sell the crap out of an Atlas, then you say something like, man, me and my wife have been eyeing this car, and as soon as her lease is up, we're buying one, even if you don't have it. So I know everything about it, man. We've been test driving and we're so excited, right? That's that sort of greed factor where you're explaining what other people are thinking, and that makes, instead of there a wall, sort of a path of least resistance to just follow along. People are followers, right? So use that example. If you don't know how to sell a vehicle, say, this is how I intend to sell this vehicle. So anyways, let's take a look at, I have an overview video of how to put this exact template together. And then I have a couple examples that I've put, that with me as the spokesperson that you can sort of build off of. Okay, welcome to the vehicle segment introduction video. This is a simple one and not a video you should mess with if you haven't already gotten me your personal introduction video. But one of the interesting things about the program that we run, if you're on this platform as a salesperson of a client of mine, then that means any videos you get me, I'll run for you at that active audience that's on your website all last week and this week looking at cars, right? So one of the things that happens is I actually know what the people leaving the website looked at, whether it was a performance car or whether it was an under $10,000 ride, or if it has off-road ability and every other type of metric you can know about a vehicle, right? So what I want you to do is to claim to be the either premium place, premium person, or have premium knowledge about any of these vehicle segments. So if that could include, hey, listen, I spend my weekends on a trail, right? So if you want to buy an off-road vehicle, come talk to somebody who knows where to drive it, how to drive it, and how cool it is, right?
Hey, I used to drive truck. I understand how important it is to know the towing and hauling capability of every single vehicle out there. So if you don't want to hear, I can look it up for you, but you want someone that actually knows what the vehicle they're selling you can tow and haul in every scenario, then come see me, because I'm the truck guy.
Right? So same thing, if this was me, I drive Golf Rs. I love go fast GTI Golf R type cars. So that would be my ad. Hey, if you are driving a performance vehicle, don't go buy it from somebody who drove a minivan to work. Don't go get a 6-speed, 300 horsepower monster from someone that doesn't know how to do a drop shift, baby. I'm your guy, and I appreciate how cool it is that you're thinking about investing in the vehicle you are. So come shop with me. That would be the ad that I would do, because that's the car that I'm passionate about. But it could also be,
hey, are you looking for a car under $10,000? The only way to get a car like that is to work with a salesperson who's constantly being aware and making themselves aware of all the cars that are coming in, because everyone's looking for these cars. So if you need a guy on the inside that'll keep his nose to the ground and call you the moment your perfect vehicle is available.
you see what I did there? So all you're doing is selling yourself as the premium option for one particular type of vehicle purchase. So then, just like the other script, you can use the template here on the right to produce that script about whatever vehicle segment that you feel like you want to claim to be the master of.
So, hey, it's Name. I am the master of all-wheel drive vehicles. That's right. I study the entire segment, not just the ones that we sell, so that I can give you all of your options for an all-wheel drive vehicle in one visit. So if you're in the market for an all-wheel drive vehicle, then don't shop around and get some random lot or some random salesperson without the all-wheel drive experience. Shop with me, Bobby, and I'll make sure you have an awesome time and get the perfect all-wheel drive vehicle of your dreams.
See what I did there? So just work this template and get me this information, and I'll make sure that I present you as the product expert, your dealership as the place to buy. Customers have no idea of anything unless we tell them. If you're a premium SUV place or whether you have 5 on the lot, this is our chance to get the customer excited about the experience and opportunity of buying the product they're already interested in from you. Doesn't get easier than that. If you need any help producing this video, if you want to run your script by me or see other videos just like it, make no mistake, I am available. Both on the Discord server, you can message me. On Messenger, you can message me. And you can always reach out to my email at any time. All that information is available. If you found this video, you can find that out. Feel free to reach out to me, and I'll help in any way that I can. That makes sense? So I know you guys have been playing with these. These are the ones. There's only one you, and it's not going to make sense if you claim to be good at 5, 6 different things at different times. So when you do your video is likely going to be served right there in somebody's Facebook feed in a carousel with other salespeople, each of them saying they do something different so that a person can shop the experience they want. All right. So you're competing with anyone else from your dealership who's gotten me an introduction video, right? When you do a spot that's for off-road vehicles, your ad goes to that person one-on-one with your cell phone and all your all-wheel drive vehicles from your inventory below it, right? So it's a specific ad, and you only have, you don't have but one personality like you do with the intro ad. So again, this is where that greed factor comes in. If you can find a way, you could say this, listen, I never, ever had any experience around trucks. I don't know what, I couldn't tell you what a tow hitch was versus a thing. So the day I started here, I've put 2 hours a day in. You see what I'm saying? You can segue off anything. And this is where the greed factor comes in, is they don't honestly know what is what. So if you claim to be the expert of something, a lot of people, they don't know how the Facebook targeting works. So if they look at a hatchback and you show up and say, I am the Lord of hatchbacks, never has a dealership cared more about hatchbacks. Hatchbacks could be the 5th slowest body style you sell, but they're jacked inside, right? And as long as you follow through with that experience for them, everybody's happy, right? So this is how you can frame the conversation and let them know I have specific inventory, specific interest, and specific knowledge about that car. So come buy it from me, because I'll either do that extra work or that extra relationship because I can relate, or in some ways it's going to be enjoyable for you. So let me give you guys just I got 2 examples here, one for a truck and one for a Mustang that I did this week as a spokesperson. I talk a little bit about this as from the perspective of the dealership rather than as one individual person, but I think you can see exactly where we're going with it. Hang on a minute. Are you in the market for a supercar like the Mustang or a super truck maybe like the Raptor? Then come to Sunset Ford, the supercar super center for Washington State. We have more of these cars on the ground. We have the relationships to help you find the perfect rig the way you want it and get it on the ground here for you. But we also have the staff here available and that are trained on these cars. The special engines, the special shocks, the special features that come with these cars. You don't want to buy one from somebody that drove a minivan to work that day or got beat by an import the last time they raced. So if you're in the market for a supercar, then come to the Supercar Super Center, Sunset Ford. Okay, so obviously that one's a little ridiculous. But keep in mind, when you send me these for your client, I'm still going to touch them up on the other end. So don't feel like if you notice, that's why I showed the camera at the end. I actually hit record, then get it out there. I don't try to like do the timing perfect myself because it's either really easy to trim it on your phone, or if you're sending it to me and I'm going to use it as an ad, I'm already going to trim it and slap some music on it anyways, right? So don't feel like you need to get those edges perfect. Just get the message that comes through to me perfect. And again, to hit that one more time, when you guys want to send something to me, send it through Messenger. This is my preferred method of communication, and so I can get it back to you. And if it's good enough, we can slap it in the Discord. All right, so let me give you one more example here. This would be a truck. One of the things that's worth noting here, Ruben, the master of the this whole sideways, actually sent me a portrait style one that was this way, and he was just as stable this way. So there's some kind of magic there. You need to get Ruben his own paid Steadicam channel. But the reality is, for this one, portrait style can be a little better. It allows us to get the ad into more places on Instagram. There's more placements. I don't want to get into all that yet, but where possible, when you're doing this vehicle one, it is somewhat better rather than doing it like this, right? To hold it like this where possible. You can kind of use the opposite trick, where you just use those two fingers and that one finger. And making, but same trick, coming right back down the row. The only difference is you're going to be dead center in it, so you're not going to be able to use this. Hey, off to my left, you see I got down, and hey, look, that's a cool look, and it's worth using. If you're going to do a widescreen, put something over there. If you're not, do one that looks a little more like this guy. Are you in the market for a new truck? Then you're in the right place. At Sunset Ford, we are your truck super center for the state of Washington. So whether you're looking for a fun, sporty truck like the Ranger, or a pre-owned truck at a great value, a brand new truck, or a full-blown 350 work truck, we are the one-stop shop for all things truck. We have both the inventory, but also the product knowledge and the individual salesperson expertise to help you get your questions answered. When you're buying a truck for work, you don't want to hear somebody will look it up when you ask what it'll tow, what it'll haul, how much you can put in the back. They're very important questions that we know the answers to and have the inventory to help you with. So if you're looking for a work truck, don't go buy it from someone that doesn't even know how it works. Come to Sunset Ford, your truck super center. Cool. Okay. Is there any questions about this? Everybody should already have in your mind 2 or 3 of these. Literally, the limit on how many of these you send me should be how creative you can be about the segue. At the end of the day, if you can come up with 5 different ways to get into Jeeps, I had a guy send me one the other day for Jeeps, and I'm like, bro, you're like a Honda store. What are you doing? And but he's like, we always got 2 of them, and so he's smart enough to realize that if one person hits one Jeep, my one ad will go find them. And he's like, we always make a killing on those Jeeps. So, keep that in mind, is like, where's the money at in your dealership? Where's the obvious high grossers? If an F350 is where all the money is, then I'm going to pick a catalog up, make sure I'm brushed up on the towing and hauling, and then I'm going to go ahead and go make a run at those people personally. You know what I mean? I'm not going to let them just damper around. And keep in mind, most of them they're actually customers of somebody near you, and they're shopping your website just out of price curiosity. So our ad then follows them back to their market. So they're not maybe the most likely, but if they love you, if you give them a personality, if you give them a response, if they start texting you and find out, oh crap, he's 25 minutes away, it's too late. Not if you've already been working for them. The folder's already set, everything's done. They got a relationship. You've given them a reason. So there's a ton of buyers. When 100 people come to your website, 95 of them never come back. You know what I mean? So we want to send these messages out and just chase everybody down. Let them know whatever it was you were looking at. I'm sorry that you left, but hey, baby, I'm right here for you. I got it all. And I've just got done training on that product all day yesterday, and we just got a boatload of them in. So make sure people know it's a unique instance. You're here looking for this car, and what are the odds that, I just so happen to be the expert at that. All right. So I want to talk one more time. When you guys are done, everyone in the group that hasn't gotten me a video that's passable, that went through all the motions, that's still in the beginning, that presents the folder well, that moves through it all. Some of you have, some of you haven't. I'm going to start importing those. You'll see them all in the Discord channel. But again, the prime way to communicate with me is through Messenger. And this is for anyone watching this, even if it's 6 months from now, talk to me through Messenger so that you can start this gateway, get through week 1 and into week 2, like everybody here is doing. And then I saw a couple people taking pictures of the screen when I had the slides up. Guys, just keep in mind, all of this is in the Discord. So if you go to the week 2 in the mastermind chat, I've got all those scripts there for you. You can pop them up on your phone. You can save them. You can send them. The little snippets that I watch, those are there. This whole show is going to be there. It's a hell of a resource. So dig around in there and make sure you know everything that is there Glad you're interested enough to take a picture, though. That's dope. But I've already done the hard work, so make it easy on yourself, baby. All right. Anybody got anything else? Any pressing issues? Keep talking to me, you guys. I love that how much we had this week, and I think we got a few things done. Keep pinging that success channel. I'm telling you, the hat making is dope, and you'll want one. You're gonna feel left out when you don't have one, and whatnot. And all right, so I actually found out that my wife is due next week instead of a month from now. So I think we're going to be delaying the next show probably. But I want to get a show out for you guys about how to build a Facebook business channel, because I think it's important that we go into the break adding all the friends and family that we can, and at least getting that process going. So I'll be reaching out to you. We'll have a plan. I'm gonna have a couple guests on that have had success with this, and or maybe I'll just edit a show that isn't live. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But look into that where you can. Start picking out your guys' business page now and putting what you can on it, and we'll start coming up with the gimmicky names and everything. But that's what week 3 is gonna be. But you'll never get there until you get me my 2 ads, baby. So I'll see you guys next week. And if, again, you have any issues between now and then, you know where to find me.